Thanks for tuning into this week's edition of Going Gainesville. I'm Lesley, the owner of Salman Home Realty and your host, and I'm joined today with my co-host, Tiereny. Thanks for being back in another episode with me, Tiereny. We are in historic Manassas. We are going to go check out Cafe Pottery and let our hellion children splatter each other with paint in their new paint splatter room and check out everything else they have to offer. Let's go. So we are sitting here today with Andrew and Alla, the owners. Thanks so much for having us out.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming.
And you guys just recently moved locations. So how did you get into pottery, and how long have you been doing this, that you moved locations? Tell me a little bit about Cafe Pottery.
All right, well, Cafe Pottery was founded about 3.5 years ago, and I started just next door here. And I've been there for 3 years. I've had over 5,000 customers. And I've been doing pottery for about 20 years. I started back in high school and just never stopped. And I moved out to the East Coast about 7 years ago, and I've been doing the pottery wheel lessons here in town for, like I said, about 3 years.
So go ahead and tell me what people can do when they come over here and visit.
So Cafe Pottery and the Arts Nest is kind of two separate companies, but we're right next door to another one. So Cafe Pottery next door does the pottery wheel lessons, while over here in the Art Nest we're going to be doing the pottery painting and the splatter paint room and other various workshops and lectures once the coronavirus starts to phase out. And we're going to be doing things like doll making workshops with Alla, as well as possibly some oil painting classes where she'll be teaching some of her techniques that she's mastered over the years. And we're going to be doing just a wide variety of culturally enhancing things for the region.
I love it.
Very
it's
nice.
like creativity within creativity, because you're doing creative things within a creative realm with the splatter room and things like that. It's like, who would think to do that? And I think it's so fun and amazing for kids. So.
Splatter room
Or
is great.
adults.
Yeah. I joked about the splatter paint room for months before doing it, just because it's something I did splatter paintings back in college, and I've loved it since then. And just to make that an option for, I mean, where do you have a space to do something like that?
Right.
So create the space.
Yes. So there are all these beautiful paintings around here, Alla. Can you tell me more about those?
Well, all of those paintings are mine. I'm an artist. I paint with oil on canvases or board, and my favorite subjects are people.
Yes.
So the portraiture is something where I'm an expert, and we are going to offer classes here, paintings, oil paintings, and doll makings as well, which I am going to teach. You can see here some examples. Those two girls are my nieces. They are twins, and it is not the first portrait of them that I made. I think they are very inspiring just by the fact that they are twins.
Right.
It doesn't matter how you put them, they can reflect each other as a mirror and sit in opposite pose, but it's always cool.
Yeah.
So-
Well, so I could come in here with a picture that I wanted
Right.
you to paint and commission you to do so, correct?
Yes, definitely. But it should be a very good picture. Very good quality.
Yes.
And she also painted my grandpa here behind us as well, where she's very, very talented.
Yes.
Well, originally the photo is black and white, so we made it
So yeah, that was a black and white photo that was
from the
colorized.
book.
Wow.
But it was a very quality photo, so even black and white
easy.
photos can be colorized.
So what type of events do you guys have here, and what specifics do you do with everyone?
So, I mean, we offer a number of packages for birthday parties and for other groups, so like bachelorette parties, and where you can be doing the pottery painting or the pottery wheel lessons or the splatter paint room for those. Now, we shorten the duration of how long those activities would usually go on. So like typically with a pottery wheel lesson for 2 people, it'd be 45 minutes and you make 2 pieces each, where we might shorten that up for a birthday party where I'll bring kids in, or adults even for that matter, and do 2 people at a time on the pottery wheel while the other 6, 8, 15 people are painting pottery. So they'll be painting on a piece while they're making, and similar to the splatter paint room where we'll be cycling people through the splatter paint room while other people are painting on pottery. So pottery painting is a typical filler for, while the other people are doing the small group activities. I can fit 4 people in the splatter paint room at a time.
I think we need to go.
Hey, I kind of agree.
Well, Andrew and Alla, thanks so much for having us out today. This place is amazing. The audience maybe can hear the kids still screaming in the splatter room in the background, but it's been wonderful. Thanks for showing us around.
You're very welcome.
And thank you, Tiereny, for being my co-host, being back on the show.
You're very welcome. Glad to be here.
And thank you for tuning into this week's edition of Going Gainesville, because we're going Gainesville.
And so
are you.
Make sure you tune in with me, Victoria, with Going Gainesville's Rapid Fire segment. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hope to see you soon.